So this is a discussion post for the personal conflict metaphor and the conflict system discussion. I think it depends on the kind of conflict as to how I handle it, but for the majority of the time, I am in avoidance systems kind of um, personality, so to speak. There are certain situations that I avoid just because they feel uncomfortable and I really don't like confrontation. I'll do it if I have to, but um, I have to kind of prepare myself beforehand. Um, I I tend to avoid confrontation, like I said. I like to solve issues on my own. Um, Pretty much it's if I'm gonna do it, I'm just gonna do it myself kind of thing. Or, if it's another person, then I kind of have to walk away, think about it, and then come back because if I don't think of what I'm gonna say, then it might just come out all wrong. So I'm very to the point to where like I need I need to think it through before I go through with addressing any sort of conflict. Um, that's just my personality type. In order to understand why this is the case, you probably want some background knowledge on me. My mom was in an abusive relationship for 7 years, and so it's really hard for me to, I guess, deal with confrontation because he was abusive, and a lot of my childhood I felt, I guess, scared. Um, they like to handle things with violence, like my family does, and alcoholism is a big thing in my mother's side of the family. It's not really my mom; it's just that side. So I think that that's really why I tend to avoid conflict. Um, I don't have much of like a social life or anything like that, just because I just um, avoid that. These readings really did open my eyes, especially the domestic violence part, and how some of us are resilient and some of us are not. My brother, so to speak, really wasn't as a resilient, didn't have as much resiliency as me, and I thought that it was an interesting thing about what I had read. I generally do. Um, I generally go about acting the way I do whenever it comes to conflict. Generally look at the light at the end of the tunnel. That would probably be my personal conflict metaphor. I've spent a lot of time looking at the light at the end of the tunnel. With as far as my degrees go, I was a mom young. We were parents young, and so it's getting to certain stages in my life, that would be like the light at the end of the tunnel. I think that that would be my personal conflict metaphor. Um, so my conflict system would be an avoidance system because I'm working on it, but I still have a hard time like expressing my feelings and that kind of stuff. Opening up and even talking. It's affected my relationship with my husband as well, but we've been together for a long time, and it's affected our relationship together because he'll be like, you need to open up a lot more, and it's maybe going this route will help me not only personally but in my professional life as well. Um, Thank you.